Hey guys, my name is Tyler, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how you can very easily stabilize your video footage, whether it be with a DSLR, a smartphone, or anything else like that, very easily and for under 10 bucks. So most of you guys, if you've been watching any vloggers or video makers, have seen this sort of tripod. The actual name brand one is made by 𝙎𝙃 and can cost you, they have a couple different models, but it can cost you between 15 is the cheapest one, and I think they go up to like 60 bucks without any attachments. I got this one. This is an off-brand one, and I got it for about, it was less than 10 bucks. I think I got it for 7 or 8 bucks. Granted, the quality is not great, but I was able to use this $7 or $8 item to drastically improve how smooth my B-rolls were and how smooth my pans are when I'm looking for cinematic style videos. So obviously doing this and just sticking a camera on it isn't going to stabilize your footage at all, but what I learned today when just messing around with it and just like playing with this tripod a little bit was if I take two arms and bend them one way and then another arm and bend it that way so it looks like this, you can actually take the end of the arms and bend them down so that it looks like this, and then you have your camera on it. You have your camera on top, which unfortunately I can't demonstrate because I'm using my only camera to record right now, but you stick your camera on top and you can use it really to stabilize your footage immensely. And here are a couple shots that I took earlier today while using this method, and they are way smoother than shots when just holding the camera. So hopefully you guys were able to see in those clips how they were actually more stabilized when using a method like this. Now obviously they're not perfect, but I'm going to explain later in the video how you can take those slightly stabilized clips using this method and stabilize them even more to get clips that you might see in like a movie, how they're very stable and they look very cinema style and they look very film-like just because of how stable they are. First, I'm going to be talking to you guys about a couple pros that you get by using this method. The first and most obvious pro and advantage of this method is that you can get this on Amazon for less than $10. If you want to upgrade and go for a little better, higher quality product, you can get one for between 10 and 20 bucks. But if you just want the cheapest one, not cream to the crop, but it gets the job done totally fine, I'm fine with sticking with a $7 to $8 model, and that's all that's going to run you. The next advantage to using this tripod method is that this is obviously a tripod. So this isn't the only use for it. It's not like buying a gimbal where you're going to drop 300 bucks and then your only use is for it to stabilize video. This, you're going to drop 7 or 8 bucks, but you're going to have the use of being able to stabilize video. You could also just straighten it out and hold your camera up like this so you can do vlog style videos facing you, which I've used it for. And then obviously it works as a normal tripod. You can use it for time lapses. You can use it if you want to take video of yourself, just like set it up here and have the camera facing at yourself. So this has 4 or 5 different uses, whereas a gimbal or a Steadicam only has the one use, and you're paying between $50 for an okay cheaper Steadicam to up to $400 to a couple thousand bucks for a really nice gimbal. Another awesome advantage for this is, especially for beginner filmmakers, this is extremely easy to set up and it's totally simple to use. So like I said, you literally just take the arms and you bend them out and then you bend them back in like that and you have yourself your little Steadicam. Now with an actual Steadicam, most of them I'm pretty sure are non-electronic, so you have to balance out the weights, and it takes about 5 minutes if you're super experienced, 10 minutes, but it could take up to a half an hour to get your camera totally balanced on there, especially if it's your first couple times using it, and you have to rebalance it every single time you use your Steadicam or gimbal. 3-axis gimbals can take even longer to balance if you're not sure what you're doing yet. And that's just an added hassle if you have to spend a half an hour balancing your camera right when you get to your scene every single time. Whereas this, you can just pull out, screw on your camera, and you're good to go in 2 minutes. Another pro to this method is that this thing probably weighs about a half pound. And as you guys can see, it's just bigger than my hand. This is a very small and lightweight option for you to be able to stabilize your video. Some gimbals can be this small, a little bit heavier, and some Steadicams can be pretty tall, like 3 feet tall, and they're a lot bigger and a lot heavier, and they make it a lot harder to carry around with you. You're going to have to carry them on the side, whereas you might not be able to take your tripod anymore because you're replacing it with a Steadicam. This you can easily fit into the the water bottle holder of your bag or a small portion inside your bag, and it's super easy to take with you on any trip that you want to go on any place that you want to go record your video. So that's an awesome perk to this method. While this is a great method, I wanted to warn you guys about a couple cons, because if you're looking to purchase one of these, I want to let you guys know some things that are not so great about the method, just so that you guys know about them. So like I said before, I got this for about $7 or $8, but being that I didn't spend the extra $15 or $20 to get a decent one, this is quite cheaply made, and like you guys can see, these arms kind of wobble. You can pop them out pretty easily. This is a very cheaply made tripod, so it gets the job done, but sometimes I'd like a better tripod. Like on the bottom, these kind of slip a little bit when you set them up depending on the surface. So it's an okay tripod, and it's okay for like stabilizing and stuff, and for a couple of different uses. But I would say if you're really looking for this to last you a while and get great results, you might want to go up to a little bit more expensive of a tripod, maybe $20, around that ballpark. Something that's also a con of this method is that obviously this, being that its intended method is not to stabilize film, it doesn't work quite as well as a 3-axis gimbal would or a Steadicam, but you're able to fix that in post using Premiere Pro or After Effects, and I'm not sure what other non-Adobe items have this feature, but you're able to fix that in post. Unfortunately, it also doesn't work as well. This is its major drawback, is when running with it or even walking quickly with it, that's when your body's shaking more. And this method is mainly used, it's most successful used when you're doing these like pan shots, panning up and down, or even like going like this with your body. But when you're walking and your whole entire body's moving, or you're running and you're shaking a lot, this method doesn't work nearly as well. So that's something to watch out for. And then obviously the main con of this, which has been said before, is that it's not 100% stable. This is not an end-all, be-all, fix-all problem where you can take your raw footage out of your camera and have it be totally stable, where you're only really gonna get that with a Steadicam or a 3-axis gimbal, and sometimes you're gonna have camera shake with those items. But this is gonna help out a lot, make your film and footage a lot more stable. And like I said, if it's not 100% stable, there's very little that we can't fix in post. So now, since you guys know that this isn't 100% stable, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my computer and show you guys how you can make your footage just that much more stable and smooth, so that it really looks like you've used a cinematic camera, you've used a super nice film camera and gimbal to get this perfect, smooth, buttery smooth video. So now that you guys know that this isn't 100% smooth, I'm gonna head over to my computer into Premiere Pro. This works exactly the same in Adobe After Effects, and I'm gonna show you guys how you can make this footage just that much smoother, so that it literally looks buttery smooth and it looks as good as you can possibly get, especially with a cheap tripod like this. So now that you guys know this method doesn't work 100%, you're still gonna have a little bit of camera shake, I'm gonna show you guys just how you can fix that using either Adobe Premiere Pro or Adobe After Effects Pro, and I'm not sure if any other programs offer this effect, but it's called Warp Stabilizer, and I'm gonna show you guys how you can use it to get your footage just that much smoother. Okay guys, so now we're here in Premiere Pro, and while in Premiere Pro, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how you can take your fairly stabilized clips and make them even more stabilized so that you get that cinema feel that you're looking for. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and import your clip. Once you have it import, you can go ahead and double click and it will show up in your source monitor. You can either trim the clip to what you want, or I just like dragging in just the video file with no audio into my video. And then I'll just go ahead and trim where I want by using the C hotkey from my cut tool, and then we'll go ahead and trim it right there, and then I'll just go back and use V to use my quick select tool to delete the last two portions. Okay, so now that we have our clip in here, first thing we're going to want to do anytime before I use the warp stabilizer effect like we're going to, I always right click on the clip and I hit nest. So a lot of times I'm messing with the speed of the clip and other stuff like that. So what I like to do is change my speed, change my opacity, change anything that I want to change in the clip, change my color correct or whatever, and then I'll go ahead and right click and hit nest. And what that'll do is it'll make a new sequence out of this clip, and then no matter what, we can go ahead and drag our warp stabilizer effect on there, even if we've changed speed, which normally you can't put speed and warp stabilizer on one clip. But if you put speed on there, change it, nest the clip like we just did, and then put warp stabilizer onto it, it'll work perfectly fine. So once we grab our warp stabilizer effect, drag it onto our clip, we can go ahead to our effect controls in the top left-hand corner. And as you guys can see, there's 3 minutes left for it to analyze the clip. So it has to go frame by frame and see exactly what's going on in the clip for it to be able to stabilize it. So I'll come back to you guys once it's totally done stabilizing. Okay guys, we are back here in Premiere Pro after our clip has totally stabilized and analyzed itself. And so we're gonna go ahead and play back that clip right now. So sorry if that's a little bit choppy, but that's kind of what it looks like. You can see it's very smooth. There's a little bit of tilting, but that was due to just an awkward B-roll that I got. So now we're going to go ahead and compare it to the original clip. You can see there's a little bit of camera shake here, even with the tripod method, and then stabilizer goes ahead and stabilizes the clip. To make it a little bit easier to see, we're going to go ahead and scale both these clips up to 175%. This just makes it a lot easier to see camera shake. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play that back again. And you can see there's quite a bit of camera shake in there, even with the Joby method. And then warp stabilizer takes all of that out. So now that you guys see how easy it is to be able to make your footage super smooth using a less than $10 tripod, as well as adding warp stabilizer and post-processing, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I was able to come up with just by going out in my backyard, taking a few B-roll clips with this method, and then being able to edit them to some music. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope it was extremely helpful to you guys, and it's giving you an opportunity to make even better looking videos than you were able to already. Definitely be sure to leave that like button if this video did help you guys out, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content in the future. Here's my take on what I was able to do in the backyard. Everyone have a wonderful night, and I hope you enjoy this video.